Next up is kind of a weird one, but this is like maybe one of my favorite things for the home. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. I hope you had a really restful last couple of weeks during the holidays. I am so excited to be back on my channel and back filming a video in 2023. This is my first video that I will be filming in the new year, and I'm so excited to bring y'all my favorites video. I look forward to filming this video every single year. It's really fun for me to look back on the previous year and just think about all of my favorite things, from beauty to fashion to home to experiences. So we are gonna go ahead and just kick off this video. If you guys are new to my channel, I will have everything that I can listed out in the description box, but it will also be up on my blog where you can find everything in the order that I talk about it. You can find that blog post linked in the description box, but also pinned in the comments. We're gonna go ahead and start off with beauty because that's probably where I have most of my items, just because I wanted to give you guys a full rundown of my favorite foundation, concealer, setting powder, everything like that. So first off from beauty is my favorite cleanser. This has been a favorite year after year. This is the Tula Purifying Face Cleanser, and I stocked up on these a while ago, so this one might be like the older packaging, but this is like one of my favorite cleansers because it truly lasts forever, but then it also just gets your face so clean. I feel like sometimes cleansers can kind of leave your makeup on. This fully removes it, so I always have one in my shower, and then I also really just like using this every day. Next up is my favorite new skincare product that I have tried this year. I've gotten a chance to try a lot of skincare because obviously my job, and I just love trying out makeup and skincare, which is why I really wanted to do like a favorites makeup. But this is the Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant, and this is the very first liquid exfoliant that I've ever tried, and I am obsessed with this. I have gotten my best friend hooked on this stuff. Paula's Choice is such an incredible brand. This is one of the first products that I've tried from the brand, but I cannot tell you guys, when I use this at night, the next morning my skin just feels so refreshed. It's like it takes off that first layer of like dry and dullness, and it just gives you the most beautiful like glowing complexion the next day. So I've noticed a huge difference in my skin since using this. It also shrinks your pores, helps with acne, and it does smooth and even the skin as well. And when I say like I actually notice a difference when using this is like liquid gold to me. Next up is the serum that I used basically every single day this year. This is the Drunk Elephant C Firma Fresh Day Serum, and I've talked about this a lot on my channel over the last, I guess, couple of years now, but this is something that I reach for literally every single day. I just love Drunk Elephant, and their vitamin C serum is something that I just use repeatedly. I actually fell back in love with Curology this year. I had been on Curology, I think maybe a year and a half ago, and it really helped with my acne. And then I was feeling really good about my skin, and I got off of it, and then I noticed my breakouts kind of resurfacing again, and so I got back on Curology. And this is not sponsored. I truly just use Curology for my adult acne, and this has really helped. So this is something that I kind of refound, I think maybe like, was it like in the middle of the spring, early summer, I started using this again, and I've honestly noticed a huge difference in my skin. So I don't know that I will stray away from this again. For my sunscreen, I feel like Supergoop has kind of taken my favorite sunscreen slot every single year, and they're back again. I really love this one specifically. This is the Glow Screen from Supergoop, and I use the Unseen, I use the regular one, I use the body sunscreen in the summer, and I just really love the Glow Screen because it has a pearlescent kind of shimmer to it. So it almost works as like a pearlizing primer if you put makeup on over it. I don't know that I would use this like without a foundation because it is really pearlized, but it's the perfect sunscreen to wear underneath your foundation. Favorite moisturizer, I kind of went out of order actually. This is the Drunk Elephant Proteiny Polypeptide Cream. I've talked about this for years as well, and it's back in my favorites. I use this on and off, especially like in the summer and kind of like spring and fall when I want a lighter but still really hydrating moisturizer. This is perfect. For foundation, I've literally just got like a bag of stuff right here, and I also have my list that I wrote out. The foundation that I used probably the most this year, especially for events, filming, any sort of important, you know, I want a full face, I want my skin to look like flawless, I used the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Filter Foundation. And if you have been following me for any amount of time or you watch my vlogs, you know like this is my absolute Ride or Die Full Coverage Foundation. This lasts all day long, and especially if you put some sort of illuminating primer on or that sunscreen, it's a really matte finish, but when you kind of like put it over those more pearlescent primers, it looks so good. And I mean, it covers everything, lasts all day. It's like my ride or die. I will use this for the rest of my life probably. But for a foundation that is a little bit less coverage on days where I don't want like a full mattified face, this is in my favorites again. I think this was in my last year's favorites, and it still is one of my absolute favorites. I discovered this, I think 2 years ago, and it has taken my favorites twice now. This is the YSL New Bare Look Skin Tint. It is still one of my absolute favorite skin tints, so I am including it again in 2022 favorites because I just think it's that good. It is like a light to light medium coverage, and it's buildable, and it's super lightweight, but it actually like covers a little bit of your skin, which I feel like a lot of skin tints can be super watery or oily. This is like the perfect skin tint, lightweight foundation. I love this, so it's back. For my concealers, I've got two again that I really liked. Both are extremely hydrating and creamy. First one is the Ilia Beauty True Serum Concealer. I love Ilia Beauty products, and I really like their foundation when my skin's a little bit drier. The reason I didn't put that foundation in my favorites is because my skin is typically pretty oily, and that leans a little bit more oily. However, with the concealer for under eyes, it's so hydrating and amazing. And then the other concealer that I just absolutely adore is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. I got this more recently, but this does not crease on you. It adds like such a brightening effect under the eyes, and it's really beautiful like throughout the day. For my favorite powders, I've got two. One is a translucent powder. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Filter powder. You guys have heard me talk about this, seen me use it. Of course, it's my favorite. A lot of my favorite products are either like Tarte or Charlotte Tilbury. The other one is the Shape Tape Press Powder, and this is like a foundation powder, and I love this because I have really oily skin, and when I want to like lock in the full face of makeup, I'll honestly go in with like a powder foundation and like really mattify everything. Also, if I have really pesky breakouts, I'll dip a like small concealer brush in it and I'll pat it onto the breakout, and I'm telling you guys, it just like vanishes. This is like my secret weapon when I have breakouts. I have two bronzers. One is a returning no-brainer. This has been maybe my favorite bronzer for like 3 years now. This is the Airbrush bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury. Again, you've seen me use it. You know I love it. So it's back. And then I wanted to include another one that I discovered this year that I really loved. I would say like the matte airbrush bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury is like my favorite of all time. That's probably going to the grave with me. But this is one that I really loved. It's the Gucci Beauty Bronzer. One, the packaging is like so stunning, but two, it has a little bit of a pearlescent finish to it. So it's really subtle, but it's beautiful, and it gives a little bit more of a glow than the matte bronzer does. So for blush, my favorite blush this year was the Double Shot blush from Tarte. This is the most beautiful like blushy bronzer shade. So it's not too pink, it's not too coral, it lands right in the middle, and it has the most beautiful pearlescent sheen to it. So flattering on olive skin tone. For highlight, definitely the Laura Mercier Rose Glow highlight. I feel like if you are familiar with the MAC Cosmetics, what is that, Soft and Gentle highlight, this is really similar. I used to be really obsessed with like the really stroby highlights, the super flashy, sparkly highlights that almost like wash you out. And then I decided that I didn't want to have that look anymore. So I actually have been loving the more subtle, like very kind of like pearlescent highlights instead of the like sparkly highlights. So this one is really pretty. It has a nice rosy tint to it, and it always looks good every single time I apply it. Favorite eyeshadow palette, yet again, this was in my last year, so my 2021 favorites video. Back in 2022, the Tartelette In Bloom palette. I've talked about this before, so I'm not gonna go into it in too much detail because you've seen me use this year after year, but it is one of the most versatile palettes day to night, beginner, expert, doesn't matter. It's an incredible palette. It's like one of my most recommended palettes when you are getting into makeup, or if you're into makeup and you just want to try something else. This palette is just my favorite, so it's back. But I wanted to include a couple others that weren't in my favorites video last year, and it's the Charlotte Tilbury Luxury Eyeshadow Palette. So these are quad palettes, so really easy to travel with. But Charlotte Tilbury shadows are just so pigmented and beautiful. They're a higher price point, like the whole Charlotte Tilbury line, but they deliver the most beautiful, beautiful pigment. And I really, really love these for just everyday use, but also they have a really beautiful foil shadow as well in a lot of the palettes that are gorgeous if you want like a really dramatic sparkly eye. Favorite mascara, the same every single year. It is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Waterproof Mascara. This is maybe the third or fourth one that I've bought this year. And then to include something different than the one that I use every single year, this is the Lights Camera Splashes from Tarte. And this is also a waterproof mascara. And I've honestly found that waterproof is the only way for me to keep my lashes curled. So these are the two that I always use. Both are waterproof, both work really well on Asian lashes. And because I am like truly lip product obsessed, like that might be one of my favorite steps of my makeup routine, is like picking out my lipstick or lip liner. I wanted to include just like rapid fire a bunch. So first up for liners, the Kind Words lip liners from Rare Beauty. I did a video swatching all of the, I think it was like 10 or 12 shades, and I seriously love basically all of them. Every single shade is so flattering. They're all neutral nudes, and she just did such a good job on that line. One thing that I wanted to include that I forgot to, this is the Dibs Beauty Blush Bronzer Duo Stick, and I discovered this on a little brand event, and it is a beautiful cream blush and bronzer. If you like the cream products over powder products, I tend to gravitate towards powder, but I wanted to include one cream product, and this is it. The blushes and the bronzer formulas are the most creamy, blendable formulas. All the shades are gorgeous and super flattering, so that's like one of my recommendations if you are looking to try cream products. Back to lips, because we obviously have a lot of them. One of my favorite lipsticks this year, or this past year, was the Rare Beauty lipsticks. They match all of the liners, so you can have the same shade as the liner. Really great formula. We got a motorcycle. All neutrals again, super flattering. Another lipstick that was a home run for me, the Merit lipsticks. I'm obsessed with the brand Merit just in general, but they launched some lipsticks and they are so luxury, so beautiful, creamy, matte, but like cushiony. Really loved these this year. And this is the shade Baby, by the way. And for another lip color and formula that I really loved were the Freck Beauty Makeup Club lipsticks in the shades Main Character and Muse. Both really, really beautiful. These ones are matte, and they just have such a beautiful sort of buildable color that you can, you know, pat onto the lips, make it look really natural, or do like a bold lip with those. And then of course, I had to include the Tarte Juicy Lips. I have basically every shade of these and I am obsessed with them. I always have one or two in my purse. These are some of my favorites because they are super, super creamy. They melt onto the lips, so hydrating, and they smell so yummy. Last up are some lip oils that I really, really love. I've moved from lip balms. I still have some lip balms, but I've been trying some like lip oils and serums, and I think that those have like changed the game for my lips. So first up is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Lip Oil. It has a rollerball application and it smells so good. The next one is the Ilia Beauty Lip Wrap Lip Balm, and this one has a metal applicator, so it's really cooling on the lips. Really, really lovely scent as well. And then this one is from Clarins, and this is a lip oil, and this one also just smells incredible. And all three of these I would highly recommend if you have drier lips. They feel amazing, they smell amazing, and I love them. The only hair product that I have is my T3 curling iron. This is not new, but this is a favorite year after year. This is the 1.25 barrel, in case you're wondering what I curl my hair with. Another favorite that I got off Amazon is this little beauty sponge holder, perfect for traveling, but also if you just throw your beauty sponge in your drawer. It's just nice to have it so that doesn't get everything messy. Last beauty product, I promise, then we'll move on to other stuff. Favorite perfume was kind of like slid in at the last moment. This is the Laura Mercier Almond Coconut fragrance, and this smells so good and sweet, and it's just like a subtle sweetness though. It's not to the point where you're like icky sweet. So this has been really, really beautiful. It's a very like beautiful winter scent as well. All right, so now on to home and lifestyle stuff. This first one is gonna be a no-brainer, and I'm not gonna talk about it that long. But the Stanley tumbler that took the world by storm this year, and really last year. I was very late to the trend. This is the 40 ounce. First edition, so the older one, but one of my favorites. Jason also has one and he uses it every single day. But another one from Stanley that I did not know that I was gonna love as much as I do is this one with the flip straw. This is the 30 ounce, and I just love this one because you can put it in a bag, throw it on the floor of your car, and you don't actually have to worry about anything spilling out. So that was one that I was really surprised to like almost as much as the actual like straw handled one. Next is the Vitruvi diffusers. This is the Move diffuser, and it's empty right now because I didn't want it spilling everywhere, but it normally has a base that you plug in and then it charges. I've always been on and off with using diffusers, but for some reason this year I started using it all the time, and I have a couple of them throughout the house that we always use. We always have one in our guest bathroom like downstairs, and it just makes the home feel so cozy. Some of my favorite scents are Golden. This one is so good. Another one is Pacific, and this one is probably like my top favorite. And then there was one seasonal one that I don't think is available on the site anymore, and I believe it's Aprez is what it's called. I'll link it in the description box if I can, but this one, I need them to come out with this permanently because this is my favorite scent of all time, and I was heartbroken when I found out that it was like a seasonal scent because it just smells so good. It's also Jason's favorite too, so I need them to come out with this one forever. Next up is my Kindle, and I did an entire video on this that I'll put in the description box, but basically this has been one of my favorite things of all time. I've read so much on it. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but if you have ever considered maybe getting one, being on the fence about one, I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. It has seriously made me read so much more, and I have absolutely loved having this. I don't regret it at all. Next up is kind of a weird one, but this is like maybe one of my favorite things for the home this year. It's our Shark wand vac, and I got this I think in like January or February of 2022, and I'm not kidding you guys, like I use this almost every day, if not like just every other day. It is a vacuum, and it's so small and compact, and it has a base that you like sit it in to charge. It takes up no space. It's perfect for cleaning out your car, cleaning up your couch. Like I don't know why this brings me like the most joy. Like you can obviously tell I'm so hype about this vacuum, but it is truly because it's one of those things that I just didn't know I needed. But now that I have it, I'm like, everyone needs one of these. I'm including this one again because year after year it continues to be one of my favorites, and it's also something that you guys always ask me about on Instagram whenever I post about it. It is my 5-year prayer journal from Hosanna Revival, and I have just started year 3 on it. So I started in 2021 and I am now on 2023, which is crazy. But this has like become one of my most prized possessions. All of my prayers and memories are in this journal now from the last 2 years, and I'm excited to like have 5 full years in this because I just think it's gonna be so special to be able to see like what the past years looked like and just what prayers have been answered or what I'm still praying for and all that stuff. So this is like one of my favorite things of all time, and I love this year after year. So this one is super random, and I got this at the end of 2021, so I didn't put it in my 2021 favorites. However, it's one of my favorites, and it's a large print Bible. I cannot tell you guys how much larger print has changed my life, but this one I just really love because it has this beautiful like blue font, and then it has like gold lining on the sides, and this is gold, and like it's just the most aesthetic Bible without being too done up. So that's one of my favorites, and switching to large print has honestly changed my life. My favorite like furniture piece this year, because last year was our couch, my favorite furniture piece would have to be our outdoor furniture. It like changed our whole outdoor space and just made being outside so relaxing relaxing. It almost feels like we're at a resort. Like we sit out there and we're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we live here. And it's just one of my favorites. We got them from Lulu in Georgia, and they were one of our favorite brands to work with this year. Like such a blessing of a partnership to work with them, because they were just like so kind and generous with like what they gave us. And also like I got to meet the rep in Dallas, which was super fun. So that was just a really sweet surprise for like a partnership that happened last year, and also like just stuff that we've been enjoying every single day here at the house. Favorite candles this year, guys, by far Ranger Station, and I don't have one on me right now, but I'll put a little picture here. They are hand poured here in Nashville. One of our friends actually works at Ranger Station, and so he hooks us up occasionally, but we are like so obsessed with Ranger Station, and they actually give us a discount, which I'll put in the description box. But they like by far have some of the best candles, and they also have like hand soap and hand lotion now, and it's really, really nice and like incredible quality. A lifestyle thing that I have become obsessed with this last year is Pilates. I had never really tried it before, and I ended up working with Marathon Pilates on like the 12th South location for a little while, and I like fell in love with Pilates so much that now I like have a membership there and I still go. I just love the workout, but also I love that it's low impact and it's just really like relaxing at the same time. So that's something that I just like really fell in love with, like working out this last year. I've never really stayed that consistent with working out as far as like doing a class or anything like that. So that's the first time that I have like really grabbed onto something and I've loved it. Actually, we have another home item, our frame TV. I am so glad that we got this. We bought it like, I think early like March or April, and we are just like so in love with our frame TV. It's one of those things I had wanted for years, and it was one of those items I was like, is it gonna be worth it? Is it gonna feel like it was worth like replacing our other TV with this frame TV? And I've gotta be honest, it is so beautiful, and we have so many people who just like comment on how aesthetic it is and how beautiful it is, and like we enjoy it every single day. We have the art displayed on it right now in the living room, and it just adds that like extra final touch in a room, which we've really loved. This was also the year that we upgraded from our bedding to not just like all white sheets. We actually got like creative with our bedding, and this was the year that we got parachute bedding, and it has been so nice to go to bed in those sheets, and it just adds so much like texture to the room. So that was something that we really loved as well. So now on to fashion. We're gonna start with bags. Favorite bag of this year, my Celine, which I got in New York on a really fun trip with Jason, and this was one of those bags that was like such a sleeper. I was not expecting to love this bag as much as I do, but Jawaz picked it out, and I just think she is so stunning, and I love this bag so much. It was one of those things I was not expecting, but I'm so glad that I took a chance on this one. My favorite bag that is not designer is the Lululemon belt bag. These were so hot this year, and I know why, because they're just the best. So I got the Sherpa Teddy one in cream, and this has just been the most like handy bag for just everyday casual vibes. It actually holds a lot, so I've got like my wallet, my keys, a lotion, a pouch of like makeup, some lip products, all that stuff within this bag. And it's so great because you can just throw it on around you, and it's so cute. Favorite shoes for this year, probably my most worn, and I'm actually gonna do a video completely on my most worn clothing items and accessories and all that stuff for the whole year in a separate video, and like style them up and show you guys. But my most worn shoes by far were the Madewell suede Western booties. Obsessed with these, you already know it. If you've watched any of my styling videos, I basically use them in every single video. One of the more unexpected items that I am obsessed with are my Jenny Kane like potato shoes. So cute, so comfy. You can wear it with leggings, you can throw them on with your jeans. I don't know why, I just love these so much. Favorite pants this year are, we'll start with denim. Probably my most worn pair of jeans are the Madewell Perfect Vintage Straight Jean. These ones with the one hole, or one like distressed side. I've worn these in like every single styling video and they just fit so incredibly. I get comments on them all the time because they just are really, really flattering on. So you guys can see pictures of me wearing them, but they're a good pair of denim. Favorite pants that are not denim by far are the Abercrombie and Fitch. Are these the 90s trousers? I'll link them down below. These ones, most flattering pair of trousers ever, and I have worn these again in countless styling videos. And like I said, I'll do like a full video on like all of my most worn items. I'm not gonna include all of them in here because that would be 100 hours long. But last pair of pants, by far my favorite, the 90s straight ultra high rise faux leather pant. Guys, I don't know what happened this year, but Abercrombie just like stole the show. I think Abercrombie might be like right up there with Madewell as far as like my favorite brand this year. Like Abercrombie's doing something that like, I don't know, it's taking the world by storm again. And these pants, you guys, are so good. You've seen them a bunch in my styling videos if you've watched those, and they're so flattering. Really great price point, would highly recommend. Next favorite fashion item are my Ray-Ban sunglasses. I bought these, I think in like March or April, and I just love these because they are so lightweight, and they're also the Chromance lens. I don't know if that means anything to y'all. It didn't when I bought them, but now that I've tried them, I'm like, Chromance, guys, why are we not all wearing Chromance lenses? They are the most incredible warm tinted sunglasses without making everything like orange and like oversaturated. It still holds the true color of everything, but it just adds that nice like warm hue to it. I don't know how to describe it, y'all, but these really are worth the price. They're like a little bit more expensive because of the lenses, but they're so lightweight and I'm obsessed with these. Favorite top would probably be any of my Jenny Kane sweaters, cardigans. So I'm actually wearing one right now. I have 3 and I'm obsessed with Jenny Kane. I had never heard of the brand until this past year, and I'm sold. I am sold out. I love a brand. Jenny Kane has my heart. I love her shoes. I love the cardigans. If you follow that brand on Instagram, I love her home. It's like a very aesthetic, calming vibe, calming brand. But aside from Jenny Kane, probably Anine Bing. Guys, I fell in love with Anine Bing this year, and I had never tried the brand until this past year, and I just love the sweatshirts so much. And I have yet to try anything else from this brand, but I've worn the heck out of the sweatshirts that I have, and they are a little bit more pricey than like your typical sweatshirt, but they're so cute and you can wear them so much. Last item, a little favorite of mine, the Target socks. I've used these a bunch in styling videos now. They got little scallops and they're waffled, and I have gotten so many questions about these socks, and I know a lot of y'all have bought them as well because they're just incredible. They also come in a pack of 3. I just didn't feel like showing you guys all 3. These though are so good and so cute, and they just add that perfect like finishing touch on an outfit. Last thing, I want to finish this video off with my favorite experiences from this past year, because this year, honestly, there were so many incredible things that happened in work and personal life, and I just am so grateful for this last year and all the things that I got to do and all the opportunities that came up. And so first off, my favorite experience this last year, one of them, was going on the trip with Tarte to Miami. That was just such an incredible, surreal moment of mine. It felt like such a work like triumph being invited to that, and the Tarte team is like the kindest group of people you will ever meet, and that was such an honor to be a part of that. So that was like a bucket list moment for me. Another really incredible moment from this last year was going to New York with this brand called Impact, and that was just such an incredible opportunity. I got to speak on influencing and what it looks like to partner with an influencer or a YouTuber and just talk about the industry and all that stuff, and that was a really surreal moment for me as well. Just felt like a career milestone. One of my favorite trips though, personal trips, was going to Maine. That was like maybe one of the most enjoyable trips that I've ever been on. I think because it was during the right time of year, it was so beautiful, you're in nature, and I think also I didn't have any expectations on that trip of what Maine was like, and so I just remember being in Maine the entire time and just feeling so joyful and feeling so relaxed in that environment, and I just really loved visiting Maine. I became obsessed with Maine, and so did Jay Was. Like, we would love to go back there. Another really big highlight of this last year was also going to LTK conference, which I've dreamed about for years, and that was a really surreal moment as well, being invited to that and getting to attend and just meet a bunch of other people in my industry. That was really cool. It felt like it solidified kind of this job and this industry and where, you know, like digital marketing is headed. It just felt like a moment where I was like, oh yeah, I'm not the only one doing this. Like, we have like a whole industry that's growing together, and that was a really, really cool experience as well. And then some smaller like little experiences that I really loved this last year was making pottery. I did that with one of my best friends, and that was just a really sweet moment to like disconnect and work with our hands and just to do something fun that we could take home. And I always love those like little experience kind of moments. And then we also took a cooking class. I took that with Jason, and that was also a really, really sweet moment that I love those little like life moments where you're doing something out of the ordinary, out of routine, that just feel really, really special. So those are also some really beautiful highs from this last year as well. But that is everything from my favorites from 2022. It was such an incredible year filled with so many amazing memories. Obviously, these are all just like things that came into my life this last year, but so many great memories, so many special moments from this last year, and I'm just so grateful to be back for another year with you guys here on YouTube and to just share my life with y'all, share what I'm passionate about throughout the year. It's always really special to kind of round that corner into another year of just getting to do what I really, really love with y'all. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, everything will be linked out in the blog post in the description box. You guys know where that is. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know what your favorite things were, or memories or moments or experiences were from this past year. I'd love to know what you guys loved. And if you guys were new to my channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys at my next one really, really soon. Bye guys.